Hello, my name is Sarthak Madan, and today I'm a student at Westview High School, and today we're going to go over how to make a quick game in Flowlab. So what we're going to start off with is by clicking New Game. It's going to go through some setup, and we're going to create an empty project. So the game we're going to try and create is a platform game, where you kind of run through the screen by passing through some objectives until you achieve or get it to a trophy. So we want to start off with by changing this kind of background color, because this is what's going to follow our player. So I'm going to make it a red background, just simple. Then the next thing we want to do is we're going to create a type of ground. So let's type this, call it of type ground. And then here we can click to edit it. You can, if you want, you can change how it looks. You can look through some pre-done ones here, or you can upload your own. Right, but I'm just going to use the standard one. And because this is the ground, I can just clone this to kind of create our game. So that's what I'm going to do right now. We're going to kind of go around here. I think that's plenty big. You can basically make this as big as you want, and then we're going to build some obstacles for the player to get past. Hopefully they're difficult, but we'll find out. Boom. Yeah, so we just keep cloning it until we're pretty satisfied with the obstacles we have. Alright, so this should be a fairly simple game to pass. Nonetheless, we'll run with it. Then we want to create our player. So we'll create a new type. We'll call it a player, and we don't want it to look like a block. So I'm going to use one of the preset ones from the tutorial. So use a little ghost here, and we can use this ghost. And then what we want is, as we saw, I kind of went through that, but we want to change the behaviors of this one. And then what we can do is use, because this is going to be a movable object, we're going to implement the run and jump module, because we want to be able to move our player. Along with doing the run and jump, we need to click movable so that we can move our player. And if we wanted to test this out real quick, we can go here, and let's test it out. We now have a moving player. Pretty cool. And now, but we see that he can kind of go off the screen, and we also see that the game is not super easy. But so if you want to fix the part where we move off the screen, because we want the camera to follow our player, so they can see all these and then eventually reach the end. So there's a camera part in components. So we go to behaviors, components, and just drag the camera on. Yikes. Then we click this, and as you can see this kind of blue line here, so that tells us how much of the game the camera will follow us for. And we want the camera to follow us the whole game, so I'm just going to increase it to the very end. So now if we were to try this real quick, you'll see that the camera follows us as I run through the maze. Oh, no. Alright. Now, let's say this was a level, and that was a pretty simple level to pass, right? If we wanted to say, okay, once you complete the level, let's move on to the next level or restart the current level, what we can do is make a new type. Then let's call this one trophy, or trophy, right? Kind of think of it like that little flag that at the end of the Mario game, right? And then we're going to make this so that it has a couple properties, right? So on collision, so we're going to try and find that collision thing, and it's in triggers. So collision, and we're going to collide with the type of player. So if the player touches our trophy, then we want to do something. We're going to want to restart the game. So we can have to go to game flow and use this next level behavior. So on hit, we're going to go, and we're going to draw this connections here. So once it collides with the player, then it's going to kind of use this connection, and it's going to trigger this thing. And what we're going to do, this is going to restart the current level. Right? And all right. Then I also want to change the way this looks, so we can just browse, look at some of the sprites. Let's click the coin here. Use the coin. So now once this player gets to the coin, it's just going to restart the level. All right, let's try that. Boom. All the way to the end. And boom, I hit it, we restart the level. So now that's pretty simple, but we don't want to make just simple things for our player to easily pass, right? We don't want to make just a simple level. So, but the thing is, adding complexity can cause like very difficult things, right? And we don't maybe jump. There's not a lot of complexity in just jumping, right? So something we can do is have the player throw out like some ground, or they can like throw out some bomb and the like a bomb to like destroy something. So the way we can do that is by using emit. So let's go to components, and there's this thing here called emit. And so we want to, let's say we want to trigger this upon, I'm going to say when the user clicks some keyboard value. So we're going to use a keyboard, change the key, I'm going to use M. So when this keyboard is clicked down, we want to emit an object. And the object I'm going to emit is a ground object. We see here we can have the object expire after some time. I'm going to keep that. The force that we want the object to emit, I think 2 is all right, and the angle. So I'm actually going to have it emit at 90 degrees so that it spawns underneath us for the most part. You'll find that there's a little bit of double proof checking that you'll have to do, but as we can, oh, this is kind of difficult to see. But as we see, we can now kind of spawn these things, and they go away after some time. So what you can kind of implement some type of double jumping with a mechanic like this, or you can emit like a type of bomb that destroys some of the obstacles. There's a lot of things you can do, just being able to throw things out. So I think that kind of wraps up everything I wanted to go over. Obviously, as you can see here, there's just a lot of things you can do with Flowlab, and it's just looking at some of these, seeing what they do, and that will allow you to know what you would want to do for your game. All right, thank you.